right, everyone. Andy here. I just want to quickly go into my thoughts on this government shutdown. I don't want to make things longer than they have to be, but it's finally over. Last night it ended. There's a lot of political theater on both sides of the aisle. We can't finger point one thing to the other, but I will say this, and I am very ashamed of Senator Charles Schumer. All right, I get it. The Affordable Care Act subsidies still could have been negotiated at a later time. We didn't need a 43-day unnecessary government shutdown, which caused headaches. We've seen air traffic controllers not receive their paychecks. We've seen people that almost didn't get their SNAP benefits, which, by the way, I am disabled and I'm entitled to my SNAP benefits, which would have been detrimental because I also help my parents with their food with my EBT card. So, just really unnecessary that this had to happen. A lot of national monuments closed. That was another impact of it. And, it didn't have to come down this way. But the Democrats that voted yes in the Senate back on Monday night, I applaud them. They are patriots for our country. They're looking out for us in the short term. And one of them was actually Hillary Clinton's running mate in 2016, Tim Kaine, senator from Virginia. And I know a couple of my followers, and some of them are friends of mine. They were applauding their senator, John Fetterman, back on Monday night from Pennsylvania. He voted yes to reopen the government. I mean, these are patriots right here. They're looking out for our country, knowing that the government is supposed to look out for us. But last night in Congress, there was only one Democrat that voted yes. And this is somebody who I know very well. And that is Tom Suozzi, who represents parts of Queens and parts of Nassau County. So to Tom, I want to thank him very much for being proactive. And he made a video last weekend. Tom used to be an accountant, CPA. When people had disagreements, they would come to the table and they would work out their differences. Where is that in our country anymore? People don't want to do that. And so it's just shameful that we really went down like this. This really was not necessary. Not at all. I guarantee you now the Democrats are going to replace Charles Schumer as their minority leader. And if this doesn't tell you that Charles Schumer needs to go, I mean, how long has he been a United States Senator now? He's practically been a senator since I was born. So he's got to go. All right? He's got to go. I'm sorry. I hope Charles can retire with humility. I mean, I'm grateful to Charles that, he was one of the reasons why we got the federal funding in 2021 to keep the 7 train running every 5 to 10 minutes. That third COVID stimulus package that I helped negotiate with Charlton. Anybody remember that? Sorry to bring it up, but it seemed that was the last time our country had civility. We were coming off January 6th, and, the third COVID stimulus package really, and even Republicans were praising it at the time. But now they're just backtracking. So, I've heard stories of people who have gotten actual affordable health care under the ACA. When I was younger, I wasn't in favor of it. I've heard stories of cancer patients who couldn't afford a surgery and the Affordable Care Act actually saved their lives. So it was actually affordable care. I mean, can we make healthcare at least affordable in this country? We're still at a war with inflation. Donald Trump's tariffs have been the worst thing to happen to our economy in a very long time. In fact, it's hurting Canadians. I know I don't want to talk about our neighbors to the north, but, I love our neighbors to the north. They shouldn't have to be going through this. We're supposed to be making a globally competitive economic market. And for the United States to enact tariffs is just wrong. I know I don't want to have to go off topic, but yeah, I'm just very disgusted that this happened. But it's over. SNAP's going to get funded. The veterans are getting their money. This is a big deal as our country celebrates its 250th birthday coming up. So the VA is getting funded. But I'm very worried we could be in the same predicament again. So my message to all the lawmakers, you've got to come up with a deal that keeps the Affordable Care Act fair and affordable. We have to win the war on inflation on healthcare at least. Can we do that? Because I know right now, maybe we're starting to get a break at the gas pump. I don't know if that will be noticeable soon, but I mean, some grocery prices are starting to go down. But my PS5, I shouldn't have to pay a $100 tariff on it. I technically paid a $100 tariff. Think about that. So, yeah, I'm hoping we can get affordable care for everybody. We want affordable care. And I hope it can be negotiated. But until then, once it hits the new year, Congress, you need to get your act together. Let's not play political theater in February, because I would hate to see that happen again. Nobody wants to see it happen. And, yeah, that's where I'll wrap it up. Just wanted to give my thoughts on the shutdown ending. And, I wish I could make a difference on Capitol Hill right now. But it just seems that, politics is a very nasty game. It's just ugly. It's disgusting. And I just wish our country wasn't acting like this right now. But that's the way we are. So anyhow, guys, that's it. Thanksgiving's coming up. The holiday season's coming up. Let's just try to be nice to each other for the next couple of weeks. And then once it hits the new year, I got a bad feeling we're going to be in the same disaster all over again. So that's it.